Cottage as Fulham take on Manchester United. And the hosts make two changes to the side that came within seconds of claiming a point at Manchester City. Both are enforced, with Bobby De Cordova-Reid and Tom Cairney coming in for the suspended duo of Kenny Tete and Harrison Reed. So no Alexander Mitrovic once again, who's out with a foot injury, so Carlos Vinicius leads the line. There are four changes for United. Diego Dalot is suspended. Tyrell Malacia starts at right back, his first league start in over a month. Also in, Anthony Elanga, Bruno Fernandes, who makes his 100th Premier League appearance, and Anthony Martial for his second league start. Neither Cristiano Ronaldo or Anthony feature in the squad. Here are the managers, Erik ten Hag, but first Marco Silva. With that terrific shot of Craven Cottage, which will be a terrific endpoint for this first part of the season for Manchester United, who now cut that gap to the top four to just 3 points. And in the end, what a way to wrap up the final Premier League game before the World Cup as the league takes a 6-week breather. And this is how it all played out. A special win for Brentford, of course, away to the defending champions Manchester City. Bournemouth with that much-needed win over a struggling Everton. Liverpool stringing back-to-back wins at the end of this first part of the campaign against Southampton. Forest have found this season tough going since their promotion. They picked up a needed win themselves at home to Crystal Palace. Spurs, it's been an eventful time for Antonio Conte since he took the helm this season. They came out on top in a 7-goal thriller against Leeds United. Leicester's initial struggles have come good towards the end of this campaign as we now take a breather heading towards Boxing Day. Newcastle's terrific campaign continued with that win against Chelsea, as did Arsenal with that win at Wolves. And today has seen a win for Aston Villa away to Brighton, and then for Manchester United away to Fulham. This will make good reading for Arsenal fans. They sit top of the table for the next 6 weeks. 5 points clear at the summit on 37 points. Manchester City then the second on 32. Both have played a game fewer. The Newcastle in third on 30 points, and Tottenham, who are in the final Champions League place on 29. Manchester United sign off in fifth place, just 3 points shy of the top four, having played 14 games. Liverpool 7 points off the top four with a game in hand. Brighton in the final European place. Chelsea are in eighth, 8 points off the top four. Fulham and Brentford complete the top 10. Wolves will prop up the table until Boxing Day on 10 points, 4 points adrift of safety. Joining the bottom three by Southampton and Nottingham Forest. Everton West Ham is safe by just a point. Leeds 2 points clear of the drop zone. Bournemouth 3. Leicester have a 4-point cushion. Aston Villa up to 12th, safe by 5 points, with Palace just above them.
Make big difference for us coming from the bench. It's not the first time that he makes a big impact for us, so we are really happy for him, and we know that he can give us goals, assists, and pure joy of football.
You've said previously that if he has the right approach, he can go all the way. Are you seeing signs of that?
I think everyone is seeing signs of that, not because of his goals or his assists, but the way he comes into the games. You know, coming from the bench, no one likes to be on the bench. So if you are young, older, doesn't matter, you don't like to be on the bench. So the attitude that he has when he comes off from the bench is being fantastic. So I think he's being deserves the chances that he's getting, and he's getting his goals, his rewards. So that's what his football is about.
Christian, first goal for Manchester United. What does that mean to you?
Just like Bruno said, about time. I think I've owed a few, so I'm happy to get on. Yeah, it's true. But I've owed a few. I'm just happy to be on the score sheet. And of course today, in the end, the last game before the World Cup is and the 3 points in the end is lovely.
It's a great story. What sort of week has it been for you? Named in the squad, obviously, to go to the World Cup and to get the goal too.
Yeah, no, it's been a good week. I mean, it started last week, of course, finished not as good with the loss at Villa, but afterwards it's picked up and we have the point. We're through in the cup, and like I said, to the World Cup. I mean, I've worked hard to get there, so I'm happy to be gone.
Yeah, he talks there almost with a sense of relief. He says it's about time he scored for Manchester United. But that got the ball rolling, of course, as far as Ten Hag's side is concerned. But the headlines will be dominated by a certain 18-year-old. Alejandro Garnacho, who's already shown glimpses of a real talent and has probably announced his arrival today, is he not, Michael?
Yeah, you definitely say so. He's going to hit the headlines. Yeah. And of course, just to be an 18-year-old in this squad, that says it all. You know, he's obviously got an awful lot of talent. We can't more of that in the Premier League over the coming years. He made an impact today. He came on the first couple of times he ran at his man. It didn't quite come off, but he was brave enough to keep going, and this was a lovely goal. He just feeds it inside. Look how direct he is. He feeds it inside, continues his run, and he just strokes it into the corner. No panic whatsoever.
Even when I watch it now, I'm not quite sure how he gets on the end of it, because he seems like he's second best behind Reed, but he somehow shows a burst of acceleration, gets himself in there. But as we said, he's so direct. He knows exactly where he wants to go with the ball, whether he's running without the ball or running with the ball. But I really like the celebration. There's a touch of arrogance with the celebration, which I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, as you said there, with the attributes that he's got, if his work rate and his dedication to the game obviously goes alongside his skill, then there's no reason how far he could go.
There's no fear about that guy right now. You could see almost in the way that he celebrates it.
That's the beauty of being 18. It's, if you could only bottle that all your life, no fear whatsoever. You go on there with like a cockiness and arrogance, and from now on, it's all what's going on between his ears. That's the thing now. He's obviously got the talent. He's obviously got the pace, the touch, the skill, the confidence. Now it's not getting carried away, and it's what's between his ears that's going to make the difference between whether he's just going to be a one-hit wonder or whether he can have a nice career in the game.
Now, you see, this is interesting. So he's already, of course, had an effect in the first team, 2 goals and 2 assists in his last 4 appearances. But there have been public quotes from Bruno Fernandes and Erik ten Hag, his coach, talking about his attitude, how in pre-season he maybe arrived late on a couple of occasions, and that his attitude needed to improve. In a way, while it was questioned at the time, was it right to do that on a youngster? Will it serve him better in the long term?
I think it will serve him better. I mean, coming from the manager, I'd say, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I didn't quite like it when it came from Bruno, because I thought you've got to protect some of these young players, and I get it if there was something going on in pre-season, maybe keep that in-house, that let the senior players kind of deal with it. But the fact that the coach came out and said it, okay, you hold your hands up, but it will serve him in good stead, because everyone's seen the attributes, everyone's seen the quality that he's got moving forward onto the pitch. He can score goals, he can create. But it's about now getting on the training pitch, working hard. Maybe trying to, I know it's going to be hard playing for a club like Manchester United, but keeping a low profile, working hard, and let the rest take care of itself.
But Michael, you don't want that to kind of raise its head again today of all days, because this is a moment where you should be talking about him positively, right?
Absolutely, yeah. No, and we are. I mean, it's a big worry, though. You know, it's a big worry at 18, and the manager has already come out publicly. Bruno's come out publicly and spoken about attitude. I mean, that should be ironed out right away. I know in the Manchester United dressing room that I was in, it would be ironed out, and previous years. So I just hope this dressing room, which I think it would be strong enough to deal with it internally, as Dan says. It is quite worrying that that's been put out in the open, but hopefully he is, you know. He's got the intelligence and he's got the know-how to listen to people in experienced places and people that have been there and seen it and done it before.
But it feels like, you know, when you hear what Erik ten Hag inherited